All right. Look at that. You see me? You can see me. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Welcome. Yep, we just finished our dinner. We
Oh,
just,
wonderful.
just
I hope
came out.
everybody's happy.
Yes, we
We
are
just
all
finished.
very full. We had a wonderful dinner prepared for us by Vicar, Greek-inspired meal. And he made the flatbread from scratch. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, is that me? That
Yep,
must be
there you
me.
go. Yep. You're on there twice, so one must be sound or something, or
Well, whatever. All right. Let me see. I I I show I'm muted.
you're muted in one, but the other one you're not muted. You're on here twice. You got two sign-ins going on,
Oh,
but it's working.
well. I don't Oh,
All right, so Dave, you should see a screen, some information on the screen now.
yes, I do.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and begin with the word of prayer. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Let us pray. Lord God, Heavenly Father, as we go through some plans for the upcoming trip, we ask that you enlighten us and that you guide us and that you lead us and you bless our time together, that we can better understand the geography and the places that the Apostle Paul traveled as he shared the good news of Jesus Christ. For you've called us to also share the good news of Jesus Christ wherever we go. Bless us, bless this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so tonight I want to go back and I want to go over the trip again. The more we understand where we're going, why we're going, the more we will get out of the trip. I have a video for us to watch. I have some towns for us to look at, Athens, and then we have trip tips and trip details to go through so that you all understand all those details. So we have 2 hours roughly or less now to get this done. Because I said 9 or 9:30. What did I say in the email? 9:30. Good. 9 or 9:30. I know. It's a lot of details I want to go through with you all, but so let's make sure I don't get too bogged down in these towns and details because we have to get to trip tips and trip details as well, so you all understand what's going on there. So I would say if we haven't got to trip tips by 8:45, we better stop at whatever towns we're talking about and move on to that. So I think that just kind of gives us an outline. So let's look at our map of where we're going because it's helpful to see the map. So Dave, can you see the map now at home?
Not yet.
Oh, you can? Okay.
I cannot.
Oh, you cannot. Okay. Let me stop sharing and I'll share it again. Sometimes it flips over when you switch documents.
Quick enters full screen mode. Okay, I got it now.
Okay. So if we take a look at the numbers, day number one for us is September 3rd. Day number 0 is September 2nd. 0, September 2nd is where we drive to Chicago. And we are going to drive in 2 vehicles. Holidays will drive one, Hartwigs will drive the other, and we'll meet the Pools, the 3rd vehicle, in Chicago, since Clinton is, it would not make sense to drive here to go there. We'll meet you in Chicago.
You're not really driving through Clinton to pick us up or something either, so it works out.
Yeah, and there's 14 of us, so if we do 6 and 6, and you're in your own vehicle, it's more comfortable with luggage. We'll talk about luggage later and what that means. So day 0 we're in Chicago, and I have hotel rooms for us. I'll share all that information later. Day one, we leave Chicago in the morning and we fly to Athens. Day two, we wake up and are in Athens. And so if we take a look at our, yeah, I'm going to stop sharing again, and I'm going to share so you see it at home. Greece trip, where is it? The document, Myra, you have it there in your hands, but I'm trying to get to it for all of us. Where is it? Is it not opening? My I had that our document, our Greece document. Let me open it up again. I thought it was open.
Excuse me.
I had opened it downstairs. Oh. No, not that. Well, Myra, it's great you have it in your hand. Yeah, that thing. All right, I'm trying to pull it up here on the screen. I had it. I don't know why it closed. What's that? Yeah.
You want me to share?
There's no more copies up in the office for me to
You want to
open.
use one of these?
Yeah, I might. Let me see it. Maybe it's right here. This is it right here. I just found it electronically.
There's a.
Oh, inside of there, there's one.
We got it in the mail.
No. I was like, you got something in your bag?
So did you. It's all right here.
Oh.
See, there it is. I don't know why this wouldn't open. There it is right there. Interesting. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Let's go back to Dave and we will share.
Okay, so which one? So, oh, is this what you were saying about Dan?
All right.
Can I ask a question real quick? Should we call him Dan or Pastor?
You
What are
should
we
call,
supposed to
well,
call
what
him?
would you prefer?
What should we call you?
See, I'll be on vacation.
It's on now. The itinerary's up.
I realized.
Thank you, Dave.
I knew you as Dan. Okay.
I agree with your assessment.
You really are on vacation.
But it's always over.
I'm always your pastor. Right.
Do I call you pastor?
No. You can call me Brent.
I might call you Pastor Dan.
Yeah. That's really good questions. And we should probably repeat this in Chicago that first night when we're together. All right. So day number one, that's when we depart. We arrive day number 2 in Athens. So when we fall asleep on the plane, when we wake up, it's already day number 2 when we get to Athens. So it says in here, we arrive in Athens airport and transfer to our hotel, travel in time, exploring a city with a history dating over 5,000 years. Dinner and overnight are in Athens. It says the same thing there.
Yes, yep.
Okay. So our guide will meet us at the airport. He will drive us to our hotel. Dinner will be at the hotel. Many of the hotels that you stay at offer a dinner included. So just like Drury does here in the United States, internationally, they will offer a buffet dinner for you to go to as part of the hotel. That's all I had in Greece or Israel when I was there. So that's my understanding from watching videos of Imagine Travel put out, that the dinner will be included there at the hotel as part of the overnight. Well, as Brenda said, they will try to keep us awake until it's normal bedtime. Then we go to bed. So
We
when you
get
wake,
there in the morning. We
yep,
get there in the morning.
8:55 a.m. And you will be awake.
Lunch somewhere.
Yep. So our guide should be at the airport to pick us up, as I understand, and will lead us through the day of whatever we end up doing. It's sort of an unstructured day. And the reason so much spare time is set up in front is if flights are behind or you miss a connecting flight, because we are connecting in Constantinople, they want to give us extra time so we don't miss the cruise. Because the first thing we're doing on day number 3 is we will board the ship, and the departure time on the ship is early. It's like a noon departure as compared to many of the cruises that we've gone in the United States where departure times are 3 or 4. This is a noon departure because our first stop is that first night. Well, here, let's go ahead and read day number 3. Today we'll sail from Athens to the charming island of Mykonos, known for its windmills. Upon arrival, we disembark, explore the waterfront lined with shops and cafes. We wander through the charming whitewashed buildings before returning to the ship for dinner and evening activities. Today is free for personal exploration on the island. Mykonos excursions are not included. So when we are in Mykonos, there is no planned activities. You can stay on the ship if you like, you can wander around it, or you can get off the ship and go and wander around Mykonos. Mykonos is not a biblical island, but it is one of the very famous Greek islands, and that's the reason why we're stopping there. And so we will be in Mykonos that first night. The ship will sail from Mykonos overnight to Ephesus. So day number 4, we will wake up and we are across the Aegean Sea and we're now over in Turkey. This is the one time, so let's take a look at our map here. I will go back here. So day number 3, we sail out here to Mykonos. We enjoy the evening in Mykonos. And then day number 4, we wake up and we are here at Ephesus. We're here in Turkey. And we go on a guided tour in the morning. This past week, I was talking to a guy who just led a Greece trip 2 months ago. And he said to me, when you get to Ephesus, make them take you to the sites first, then the rug shops second. So know that I will be pushing for that. When you go to biblical sites like this, when you go on tours like this, it is standard operating procedure to have the Disney merchandise shop at the end of the ride. Right? If you've ever been to a Disney park, and now pretty much any theme park, you go on the ride, and as you exit the ride, there's a merchandise shop. Well, all these biblical sites, Israel and Greece, are all the same. Your tour guide has made an agreement with a local shop for you to go and shop there. You guys experienced this the last time, right? Yeah. And so I'm told the big deal in Ephesus is Persian rugs. And if you'd like to buy a rug and you go to the biblical site afterwards, you're carrying the rug with you throughout the biblical site. Maybe you can leave it on the bus. But here's the bigger issue. If you spend more time shopping, you will have less time at the biblical site. Plus, I always know from my travel experience, you want to get to this tourist site as early in the day as possible because there's going to be less people and less lines. And now the good news for us is September is already less people and less lines. The first part of September, they consider to be the golden time to travel. It's still warm, like the summer season, but it's less crowds. So he said, whatever you do, make sure you get your guide to take you to the biblical site first in Ephesus. And tonight we're going to talk about Ephesus because that is quite a city we get to visit. All right, looking back at our guide information, we see that we arrive in Turkey, which is Ephesus. And so there's an excursion, and this is included for us to go to Ephesus. So it's a part of the cruise ship excursion. So it is my understanding that the guide we meet in Athens will not be with us on the cruise ship. Now that could change, but that's my understanding at this time. Having not done this before, I can't tell you from personal experience. I'm going from videos I've watched and people I've talked to. And so it's my understanding he will not be with us on the cruise, but will get us again when we get off the cruise and will take us through everything else. If that's different,
So we won't have anybody from Imagine Tour Company for those 3 days.
that is my understanding, is that he will turn us over to the cruise ship. Now, that could be different information when we actually get there, but that's my understanding now. So we were in Mykonos, and the next morning we wake up and we're in Ephesus. This is an included tour. It's not an additional expense, where Paul spent 3 years during his ministry. Ephesus boasts impressive remains such as the Agora, the theater, the stadium, the library of Celsus, the ruins of the temple of Diana, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Later, we will sail to Patmos, so it's only a morning. We're only in Ephesus for the morning. We get back on the ship over lunch. We have lunch on the ship while we sail to Patmos. In Patmos, there is an included tour for us as well, where we will visit the monastery of St. John and the Grotto of the Apocalypse. This is believed where John had the vision and wrote the book of Revelation.
More than one.
What's that?
Yeah,
No.
it's his revelation.
Did it? Does it?
Expect either way.
Oh my goodness.
What? Revelation.
Myron knows how much that upsets me. Yeah. Great.
I didn't see him last time.
I didn't see it either. Yeah. Yeah. Day number 5. We travel overnight and we go to Crete. We won't talk about Crete tonight. That's not on my list, but right. What is, we talked last time about Corinthian. If you're called a Corinthian girl, what does that mean?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a compliment. If you're called a Cretan, what does it mean? You're a liar. Yeah, you're a liar. They were known for their prolific lying in Crete. So it's not a compliment to be called a Cretan. So I don't know what it means for all the people who live there today, but biblically and in the ancient world, Crete was known as liars. You Cretan, you liar. All right, so we are in Crete in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we are in Santorini. There is not an excursion for Santorini. Santorini is another popular Greek island with all white buildings and blue roofs. If you've ever seen a travel picture of Greece, you've seen Santorini. It is the most photographed spot of all of Greece. So we get to explore Santorini. There is no excursion. There might be an excursion you could buy from the cruise ship. I would expect it. I would expect there to be, but I don't know what they are. I know Denise looked. I've tried looking. I can't see what they are.
Is there anything on Viator?
I didn't look at it.
I didn't look at Viator either. I just looked at the company. After Santorini, we go to bed and we sail and we wake up at port. And if it's like most cruise ships, you're off the ship by 8 a.m. And they're turning and they do 3 days and then 4-day cruises. So we're on the 3-day, they're turning and they're leaving at noon. that day. So I am extremely confident they're going to have us get off the ship very early in the morning. Grab your breakfast and go. I have a video I wanted to show you that looks at cruising. Let's see how this one does.
If you're looking for a cruise where every day brings new adventures, Celestial Discovery is designed for maximum exploration as you sail across the Aegean's azure waters. You'll step into ancient history in Athens, where democracy was born, stand among the ruins of Ephesus, one of the Mediterranean's most legendary archaeological treasures, feel the timeless spirit of Patmos, and watch the sun melt into the sea from the cliffs of Santorini. A view you'll never forget. Celestial Discovery takes you closer to these extraordinary ports with immersive days and late evenings ashore so you can experience authentic local culture at your own pace. Between adventures, your ship is a welcoming retreat filled with warm Greek hospitality. Enjoy fresh Mediterranean flavors, mezze and wine at the taverna, sweet treats at Fig and Honey, or light bites at the Greek deli. Relax by the pool or in a hot tub at Halara Cove, or simply take in sea views from the sun decks. Evenings on board are engaging yet relaxing. Enjoy live music and friendly conversation in the Discovery Lounge. Dance beneath the stars at the Star Bar, or share stories with fellow travelers after a day of exploration. You'll unwind in pleasant spaces that capture the same timeless spirit you'll see on shore. Whether the classic architecture and ancient sights of Heraklion or the eye-catching beauty of colorful Mykonos. With its intimate size, warm service, and distinctly Greek character, Celestial Discovery offers a travel experience that feels personal, authentic, and perfectly matched to its unforgettable ports of call. Celestial Discovery is your way to see the Aegean up close. Contact your travel advisor to begin planning your journey today.
There gives you a view of what the 3-day cruise will be like. Who has never been on a cruise before? All right, Dave hasn't, Pools haven't. Anita, have you been on a cruise? You have, okay. I wasn't sure if you had or not. I don't know about Gwen and Chuck. Do you guys know?
Believes a little
Okay.
thing on that.
And Angie, do you know? Okay. So it looks about 60-40 of the group has. This is a smaller cruise ship. The advantage of that, it's able to get into ports the larger cruise ships can't get into. The challenge is going to be any winds that could make it difficult to get to port. For example, I've heard this summer that Santorini has been a hard port, and Celestial Discovery has not always docked in Santorini. So know that there are some ports. Santorini is also the most popular island of all the Greek islands. So there's some scuttlebutt that there might be other reasons than wind as to why we're not going into the port. I just was listening to various people give their points of view. I don't know how to decipher what's going on, but I do know the advantage of Celestial over other cruise lines in the Greek islands is their boats are smaller, and it's easier for them to get into ports that other ships aren't able to go into. Yeah. Denise, do you remember the size of the ship?
I thought you said 2,800.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
2,800.
Small compared to what.
big, yeah.
Let's do a quick Google search here.
Okay, I was just gonna like, I got this Google on my phone too.
Certainly, there's one set.
Right.
Can you reach all the way over to the wall?
I don't know. That's not good for this size. So there's 680 cabins, 9 bars, 1,360 guests.
Yeah.
So here's the information that I'm looking at over here. Dave, let me show this to you.
Is this the plug-in?
Yeah.
Or is it the out?
I could see it in the background, Pastor.
Oh, nice. Nice benefit, Dave.
Yep.
So anyway, you can see it's 60 cabins, 608 cabins, 5 restaurants and eateries, 492 crews, 1 swimming pool, 9 bars, 1,360 guests, a spa, 34 suites, and 2 jacuzzis.
Wow. That's 2 jacuzzis for 1360.
Well, I really don't think the time is going to be spent on the ship. They want you at all the ports, right? That's the reason that we're going. The only reason we're going on a cruise ship is because it's the most luxury way. In fact, Celestial used to just be a ferry. All they did was give you transport to the islands, and they upgraded to add the restaurants, and there is evening entertainment. I don't know if you caught a couple of those videos. One of the things I looked at was calling it the Italian circus. I don't know what kind of entertainment it's going to be. Acrobatics, juggling, tossing pizzas. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it'll end up being when we're there, but there will be evening entertainment that is included as a part of it. And I'm under the opinion that we have the drink package for anybody that's interested. The alcoholic drinks are included, the specialty coffees are included. That this is the last year that the standard package through Imagine includes that. I was also told that we will all have ocean view. So nobody will have inside room, but you will all have a window to the outside.
What is the ride like on a Mediterranean cruise? Is it pretty smooth?
On the day. Yeah, depends on the day. I have a problem with motion sickness, but I always do this Halloween patch behind my ear and
Yeah, I mean, she really had a problem, so she was okay. This is a little bit smaller ship.
Yeah.
So it might be a little more motion. And also, most of the cruise ships have like stable anchor pumps that they put out under the ocean. that helps keep them-
with that you sleep. Ginger snacks. I have found I drink a box of ginger snacks. Along with the little one.
Yeah.
You can always bring them. Yeah.
Okay.
And they sell Dramamine with ginger, which is what Kara likes to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Don't you?
yeah. So, well, yes, I do. I have from Trader Joe's. They have ginger mints that you can buy. I've gotten them free twice. Emma laughs because every time I've been with Emma and we go to Trader Joe's, the very first time I go, ginger mints. Oh, I'd like to try those sometime. And they go, they said, well, go ahead. We're gonna, it's fine. I'll just, we want you to try things. So it's okay. Just take it. And I was like, oh, and they're like, no, it's okay. They let us do that. And so then the next time I went with Emma, I said, oh, I need to get more. I really like those ginger mints. And they said, just take it. I was like, Emma goes, whenever I'm with you, do you get these ginger mints for free? I said, I don't know. You got to always come with me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Take Kara with you.
but I do like them and I do think it helps. Yeah. Like, yeah, but I don't take anything. I used to take stuff and have the patch thing, but since Alaska, I stopped taking it. But I will not tell you why.
Her cousin said, just pretend you have it.
Just
You'll be
pretend.
just fine.
Yeah, and then I was like, he goes, well, you didn't know now, and the cruise ship had already left and we were eating dinner, so he goes, just pretend you took it the whole rest of the time. So I was like, well, I'll try it. I was like, so I just didn't think about it, and then
I know that wouldn't work for Denise.
No. So I don't know, but
Oh, is that a positive or a negative on this?
The taking the ginger snap or the cruise part, or what?
The Dramamine with ginger.
oh, the
Yeah,
Dramamine
it's a
with ginger is-
positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
the Dramamine with ginger is less drowsy. So the Dramamine actually comes with ginger, and then separately I got those ginger mints. So,
okay.
but I don't take the ginger. I take that when I'm flying, so I will need that.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the map again. So day number 3, we come out from Athens out to Mykonos. Day number 4, we go to Ephesus and we go to Patmos. Day number 5, we go to Crete and we go to Santorini. Day number 6, we wake up in Athens and we head down to Corinth. So let's read day number 6.
Want someone to read or you read?
I'm waiting for Dave to be able to see it at home. So concluding our cruise, we disembark the port and we journey to ancient Corinth, where Paul engaged in his missionary work for 18 months, making significant contributions to early Christian communities. That's Acts chapter 18. Our exploration includes visits to the Archaeological Museum, the Forum, the temples, and the renowned Bema, where Paul stood before Gallio, continuing on to Crencre. Do you guys know how to pronounce it? Where Paul departed for Asia. We returned to Athens for a comprehensive sightseeing tour, encompassing the Acropolis, Mars Hill, the Agora, and other historical landmarks. So when we were in Athens the first time, as I understand it, there's going to be more free time, more downtime that was built in case our flights are late and to help us adjust. It's on day 6 that we actually tour, see sites of Athens. Now, I do think on that first day, we're going to get to go out and explore some, but I don't know how much or what. But day 6, we'll get to see the official
Will the guide
landmarks.
be with us?
That is my
we can-
understanding.
So we could say like, will you take us to, or we just literally go, or, you know?
Don't know. I've seen different things on the videos I've watched. So this is where, this being my first time, you're going to get to explore and figure it out with me. On day number 7, we'll wake up in Athens and we will be heading to Metaria, which I will say I was not all that excited about. But I talked to Faith sister Amy. Yep, and she was here. They did this tour in the spring, and Craig, her husband, who's a pastor out in Las Vegas, said that was his highlight. The guy that I sat next to on the conference this past week led this tour, and he said that was his highlight. So Metaria was very, very low on my list, but in the past month, it has climbed up my list of, I'm curious to see more about this. So if you turn in your book, there's a page or 2 in here on Metaria. It's page number 60.
I won't be putting out the safety cones, I don't think, tonight, and the things blocking off the entrances. I don't think that's probably a good idea. I think I'll wait till the morning. So,
James Bond movie or something.
So Dave and Diane, we have a book here for you, each of you. It's the printed version of what was sent to you electronically. So you'll have a book format of this that you can pick up from me. So we're looking in the book, and would somebody read that first paragraph for us?
The word Maria literally means suspended in the air, made up of 6 monasteries built atop natural sandstone pillars. Maria is one of the largest Greek Orthodox monasteries in Greece. The sheer size and splendor of these incredible giant rock formations have attracted tourists, extreme rock climbers, and even Hollywood. James Bond movie For Your Eyes Only was filmed on this location.
All right, so if you look at the bottom of the page and the next page, you can see these buttes, is what I would call them out in west, these mountains, buttes, and then on top of it is the monastery. And that's the sites. And the guy I was sitting next to at dinner said, it is just remarkable, the beauty of it. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises I cannot fulfill. I don't know. I don't know if you stand on the ground and look at it, or if you actually get to go up into one and see it. What's on our description for the day is sort of vague. So it says, journey to the mystical region of Metaria, renowned for its Byzantine monasteries perched atop towering rock formations. Dating back to the 14th century, these monasteries offer a glimpse into history of spiritual refuge and survival against the backdrop of stunning natural landscapes. So on the way north, we will stop in Metaria. Following this, our exploration will continue our trip to Thessaloniki or Thessalonica, where Paul was received by Jason, preached until he was rushed out of town, and we'll explore the city's landmarks, the White Tower, the walls of the Byzantine Acropolis, the Roman Arch of Galerius, and the Rotunda. We'll visit 2 of the city's oldest Christian churches, the basilicas of St. Demetrius and St. Sophia, and we'll transfer to our hotel for dinner and overnight. So if you turn in your book to Thessaloniki, that is on page 74. You will see the sites that we will see. The White Tower on the page, bottom of page 75, which is a 12th century Byzantine fortification. And then the Agora, which would have been around in the 1st century when Paul would have visited. The house of Jason, which comes from Acts chapter 17. But then we'll have the Arch of Galerius and the medieval wall, which obviously is not from the time of Paul, and the Basilica of St. Demetrius. So those are the sites that we will see after we see Metaria on the way north to Thessalonica. Going through this is the trip actually starting to crystallize in your head, and you're starting to get a better idea of what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be seeing. The more we understand it now, the more meaningful it's going to be when we're actually there. And that's why we're spending all this time. If you just show up and do it, it's not going to stick in your long-term memory as well. But if you know what you're going to go see, then it's going to be more meaningful when you go and see it. Hi, Micah.
Hey. We're not gonna put out this stuff, sorry.
Oh, we do. Bill brought it.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Ice and peaches.
Oh, just no, just the.
The empty truck. The full
Sorry.
truck doesn't come till the morning.
It's storming. Do you just want to wait here?
We appreciate you trying to help us out.
We're not, don't put out the other stuff now, because I don't want the storm to blow it all around. It doesn't, no. Yeah, thank you though. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye, Micah. Thanks.
So day number 7, we're in Metaria. We're transferring up to Thessaloniki. That's where will be our hotel base. It's up in Thessaloniki. Day number 8, we will travel from Thessaloniki on to Philippi and Kavala, and then back to Thessaloniki. So in the morning, we depart for Philippi, visiting the baptistry of Lydia near the river where Paul baptized her. I'm told that this is a very powerful, the pastor who went from Northwest Iowa said this was his favorite part of the whole trip. The guy that I sat next to dinner on Monday night said this was one of his second favorite part. Metaria was, so, you know, it was a surprise to him. Now that everybody's building Metaria up, it might be a letdown for me. We'll see, but be at the spot. Now, last time we were together, we talked a lot about Philippi, and we went through the history of the military town and everything that was it is known for. The patriarch or the patriotism of Philippi is a big deal.
Remind me how are we traveling in East Whitefield by bus?
By bus, yes. And it is my understanding the bus will be roughly 50 people, so there will be other groups with our group.
So day 7 and day 8 is the same hotel.
Yes. We check in on day 7 and we check out on day 9. So we spend 2 nights in the same hotel. So we go on to Philippi, and then after Philippi, we go on to Neapolis. Neapolis is the first stop that Paul had when you come into across the sea there when he went to Macedonia. He got the dream to go to Macedonia. The first step into Macedonia is Neapolis, or its modern day name of Kavala. Now there's information in here under Kavala. There's a lot of these we aren't going to. It says Kavala, the Neapolis in parentheses. It's on page 56. The main point of going here is they have a good ruins of the Via Ignatia. That is the Roman road that cut across. Here, that's the reason why we're going there. There's also the castle of Kavala, which I'm sure we will see and talk about, but that is way later. It's Byzantine, Turks, so we're talking 1200s. But the Via Ignatia is the road that cuts across Macedonia going on to Rome from Neapolis. And so you'll get to see what the picture shows here, the Roman road that still exists today. This is the road that Paul would have walked on. I mean, he might have walked on the grass side because he was trying to pass somebody, but this is where he would have walked. This is the road that still exists that was there at the time. So covered a distance of 700 miles.
We don't want all of that.
We will not. Nope.
We'll take a couple days.
After we visit Philippi and Kavala or Neapolis, we go back to Thessaloniki, the same hotel. We have dinner, we overnight. We wake up the next morning and we check out of the hotel and we depart going to Athens. But on our way, we'll stop in, we depart for the capital of Imatha, which name is Veria. It is built on the foot of Mount Vermio. We have some free time to visit the step of the Apostle Paul and the synagogue. It's located next to the Baruta area, which over time came to be known as the Jewish district. The stone-built synagogue is the most ancient synagogue in the northern Greece. Arrival in Athens and dinner will be provided at the hotel in Athens. So on day 9, we go to Berea, which is this area that they're talking about. And Berea has information on page 37. now called Varia. Berea is a small city north of Mount Olympus. So we're going to Crete first. And if you're called a Cretan, that is a slam. It is not a good name. But if you're called a Berean, that is a compliment. Dan Poole is a Berean. That I know. So to be called a Berean is to be called a man of the word, somebody who studies the word of God and knows the word of God. And so Paul didn't spend much time in Berea. Do you remember why? The mean men of Thessalonica came and chased him out of Berea. They didn't want him in Thessalonica, and they didn't want him in Berea either. So they came from Thessalonica over to give him a problem in Berea and kicked him on down the road. And Paul went to Athens briefly and then ultimately on to Corinth, where he spent a year and a half. This was the second missionary trip. Second missionary trip lasted how long? 3 years. Primary city of the second missionary trip. Paul was a pacer. Paul, A, is Antioch of Pisidia, which is the main city of the first one. C, second trip. C stands for Corinth. That's the main city of the second missionary trip. Third missionary trip lasted how long? 4 years, right? First missionary trip lasted 2 years. Second missionary trip lasted 3 years. Third missionary trip lasted 4 years. The fourth missionary trip, which is only through tradition, lasted how long? 5 years. It's great, easy mnemonic, and it'll be in my sermon this weekend. At least the first missionary trip for 2 years, because I'm talking about the first missionary trip. So he is in Corinth for a year and a half on the second missionary trip. It's the third missionary trip. He spends 3 years in Ephesus. So we're in a moment, we're going to talk extensively about Ephesus. But that's Berea. After we leave Thessalonica, we're stopping at Berea, and then we're on to Athens. We spend the night, and the next day we depart for home. It will be a go-go trip, go-go gadget. So here is our flight information. On the 3rd, we depart at 11:25 a.m. We arrive in Constantinople at 5:45 a.m. We have a less than 2 hour layover, and we're on at 7:25, and we land in Athens at 8:55. Flying home, we have to be at the airport at 7:25 a.m. So that departure on the 12th will be early. We have to be at the airport by 7:25, 3 hours beforehand. We arrive in Constantinople at noon. We depart at 2:25, and we land in Chicago at 5:55 p.m. same day. And then we have the drive home. We get to drive home. We are coming all the way home. Fools, you get to do whatever you want to do. It's a Friday night. Yeah.
Get ready for Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, we get home at Friday night. We land at 5:55 p.m. Once we clear customs and get our luggage, you can figure it's going to be at least an hour after that. So 7 o'clock we'll depart. We'll get home 10 or 11 at night. Probably stop somewhere quick to get something quick to eat, because everybody will want to get home and go to bed. All right, so taking a look at the agenda I had laid out for tonight, I wanted to have dinner, and I wanted to go do an overview of the trip, where we took a look at the Celestial Discovery video. We looked at Metaria, we looked at Kavala, and we looked at Berea. All these are in your book for you to reference and reread and relook at. Now I want to spend some time diving into Ephesus, and then whatever time we have for Athens we'll do, and then we'll get on to trip details. Sound good?
Mhm.
So let's go to Ephesus.
What a belt.
Ephesus.
Nice leather belt. It's cheap.
You did.
To get everything home.
Oh,
All right, taking a look at Ephesus. It's an important city to Christianity. It's an important city to Christianity. In the 9th century, so we're talking 900 to 801 BC, there was a temple that was built there. A certain existence of the sanctuary of Artemis. Artemis is interchangeable with Diana. They are the same person. And Diana or Artemis is a worldwide god, but it's also a local deity. As a worldwide god, Diana or Artemis is seen as a great hunter, but in Ephesus, she carries this connotation of fertility. And so here is a picture of this fertility god, and you can tell that Diana is very fertile here because she has many boobs, many nipples. She can feed lots of children. That's what this image here is displaying or showing. She is a goddess of fertility. Particularly associated with childbirth and fertility, and her temple was one of the 7 wonders of the world. There's actually 3 temples built on the site. Third temple, is my understanding, was the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And when we take a break, I'll grab from my office my pop-up book of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and show you the temple there of Diana or Artemis. So as early as 9th century BC. Now, you all know North, South, Israel, Judah, 1920, 08, yeah, divided kingdom. When is the Southern Kingdom carried into exile? When is the Northern Kingdom carried into exile? And how does that relate to this time frame? Well, the Northern Kingdom's carried into exile in 721 or 722, if you prefer. This is 800 to 900. So you're talking 80 to 180 years before the Northern Kingdom is carried off into exile. A temple exists of Diana. This is when she's a local god. The Greek and Roman Empire hasn't happened yet. Right? 721 is when the Northern Kingdom is carried off into exile. 587 or 586, if you prefer, is when the Southern Kingdom is carried off into exile. 70 years later, they come back from Persia. Persia's in charge. We went from the Assyrians to the Babylonians to the Persians, and the Persians are battled by the Greeks, Alexander the Great, right? There's there's a great movie that's been out in the last couple of years about the big battle that happens between the Persians and the Greeks. What is it called? I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. It's like 100 or 900, 300. Yeah, I don't know. It's a number. It's something like that, right? And it's about this battle between the Persians and the Greeks. And ultimately, who wins out? The Greeks, because they become the world dominating power. Greeks hadn't existed in 800 to 900 BC or 900 to 800 BC. Diana's a local god who becomes a national goddess with the Greeks, and then after the Greeks with the Romans. So I think Artemis is the Greek name and Diana is the Roman name. Anybody confirm or deny? Yeah, okay. So that was just kind of put it in perspective of where we are. But the temple in 356 burned. Alexander the Great in 334 liberated all Greek cities and gave privileges to the Ephesians to build a new temple. Mark Antony, and we talked about him last time, he was in the great Battle of Philippi. The Battle of Philippi is the Gettysburg Battle of the Roman revolt, right? You have Et tu, Brute, right? They kill Brutus in the Ides of March. And where do they run and hide? Philippi. And the Battle of Philippi is when Mark Antony and hold on. All I have to do is scroll. Nope, I have to switch. It's on my other document. You won't see it if I switch. It's 2 guys and 2 guys. Mark Antony is the one who wins, right? Anybody remember? No? All right, I'll pause. I'll go look. We need to know. I need to know. So my notes right here. After defeating Mark Antony, Octavian was given the title Augustus and became the Roman emperor in 27. So in 42, it was the site of one of the most significant battles in Roman history. Mark Antony and Octavian, they represented the Roman Empire, defeated Julius Caesar's assassins, Cassius and Brutus, the Roman Republic. So the Roman Republic, Et tu, Brute, right? It kills Caesar, and Mark Antony and Octavian chase them down. You see the battle scene by the marsh, the Via Egnatia, Neapolis, Philippi. Is it all making sense in your minds? Happening here? After defeating Mark Antony, Octavian was given. So it is Mark Antony and Octavian defeated Julius Caesar's assassins, Cassius and Brutus. So that meant Mark Antony and Octavian were the 2 winners, and Octavian wins out over Mark Antony and becomes Augustus. That's what's happening here. Now, it's important because Mark Antony shows up in Ephesus, right? That's why I got that little sidetrack going on there, because here in Ephesus, in 41, the battle was in 42. The year before the battle, Mark Antony entered Ephesus with Cleopatra of Egypt. All of this is taking place where we're going to visit, and it's a small area. So if you've ever wanted to be close to Cleopatra of Egypt, you're going to be close to where she walked. She has left the building, but you'll be close, right? That's why I wanted you to see all the layers of history that's going on in this town of Ephesus when we go there. We are going to see one small stick or pile of rocks, and they'll say, that's where the temple was. That's all that's left, is one little stick or pile of rocks. The rest of the temple's all gone. But you need to know in your mind, that's where the temple was. It dated way back before all these empires. But here is where Mark Antony is the year before Et tu, Brute with Cleopatra here in Ephesus. It's a big deal on the world scene, right? These are people that everyday Americans have heard of that were interacting here in Ephesus. Now, after the birth of Christ, there was a big earthquake. This area is known for earthquakes. That's why they built the temple of Diana or Artemis on a marsh. They built it so that it would shake and shimmy with the swamp. That was their way of making the temple earthquake proof, right? Well ahead of California. If they could just turn all of California into a marsh, they'd be good. So this is in 23. If, and this is a big if Jesus was born in 0, could have been born as early as 5 BC, but if he was born in 0, Jesus is in his early 20s. Maybe he's in his late 20s. When does his ministry, 3-year ministry? 30. 30 to 33 is his 3-year ministry. So this earthquake happens in Ephesus in the lost time of Jesus. 30 to 33, roughly, or 5 years earlier, you have the life, the ministry of Jesus, and ultimately his death. The Apostle Paul, who goes off to Damascus. In our first session, we spent a lot of time talking about Paul. He goes off to Damascus to capture the way, and instead, Paul's heart, is captured by Jesus Christ. And he says, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And he covers his eyes, and the scales fall off. And Paul is taught by Jesus in the wilderness. We have Acts chapter 15, Paul's in Jerusalem, where everybody decides Christianity is not a subset of Judaism. And then Paul says, I'm going to go out and teach people. And he goes on his first missionary trip. We have nothing to do with the first missionary trip, but then he goes on his second missionary trip. He's in Turkey, and he gets a dream, and he's told to go to Macedonia. And when he goes to Macedonia, where's the first place he goes? Neapolis, where we're going to see the Via Egnatia. This is the first place Paul steps onto the continent of Europe. And we're going to be there in Neapolis and see the road that is there. Earthquake happens in 23, and 52 to 55, Paul is there. He's there 2 times, and he's there for 3 years on the second missionary trip. It becomes like home, away from home for Paul. While Paul is in prison, he does his first missionary trip, second missionary trip, third missionary trip. He goes to Rome, and he's arrested. And while he's arrested, there's a threat on his life. So the Roman Empire moves him. He hides him out in Caesarea Maritima, and he ultimately appeals to Caesar, and he goes to Rome. While he's under house arrest in Rome the first time, he's under house arrest. And Paul is spreading the gospel. While he's sitting under house arrest in prison, he drinks his Pepsi. But we're going to spell it P-E-P-C. Because those are the 4 captivity letters. Those are the 4 letters that Paul writes while he's in Rome. Philippians, Ephesians, Philemon, and Colossians. While he's under arrest in Rome, he writes to the Philippians, we're going to Philippi. While he's under arrest in Rome, he's writing to the Ephesians, we're going to Ephesus. We're not going to Colossae. I wished we were. I wish we had an extra day excursion to go to Colossae, because I would love to see Hierapolis and Laodicea, and because I've talked about it so much with men's Bible study, but we're not. Yeah, right. Yeah, but we're not. We're going to Lystra and Derby in the sermon this weekend. That's as close as I'm going to get this year. Paul's in Rome in 60 under house arrest. In the 90s, the Apostle John is in Ephesus. Tradition has that the mother of Jesus is with him. I don't know how that could be. She'd be pretty darn tootin' old at this time. But I don't know. Paul or John is there, and he is sent out to the island of Patmos, and then he's back in Ephesus after that. Roughly 95, he's back in Ephesus. I always say in the 90s, he wrote the gospel, which came first, Revelation or the gospel. I've always taught gospels came first, but some things I were reading today were saying the gospel came after the book of Revelation. And ultimately, does it matter? No. You have a thought?
Dr. Weiler.
Yeah.
Wayne Seminary argues that those books were written a lot earlier,
Okay.
like before the temple fell.
Okay.
So he puts a date around
So,
70. But he
yeah.
also handwrote.
For John. Okay, so it wouldn't be from Ephesus that he was writing then. Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately, we don't know. Most of Christianity, most of the time of Christianity has put it in the 90s. At least that's what I've always heard.
That's what the Lutheran Study Bible says.
Even the Bible that studies itself, the self-study Bible. Yes. But that's not it. There's a major earthquake that hit Ephesus, and the Artemis temple was completely destroyed at that point. That's 262. Christianity is still illegal at this time. It's in 325 that Christianity becomes legal. And it is in 431. The last and greatest thing happened in Ephesus. Mary was declared Theotokos. That is, the mother of God. There was questions. Was Mary Theotokos or Christotokos? The mother of God or the mother of Christ? So ultimately, the council comes down. So there are ecumenical councils. We've studied this here at Our Redeemer a couple times. The first ecumenical council was Nicaea. That was in 325. The second council was Constantinople. That was in 381. The third council was in 431. That's in Ephesus, where they discussed Nestorianism, Theotokos, and Pelagianism. You're going, what are those? Give me a moment. The next council was in Chalcedon. That's in 451. The next council was in the second one of Constantinople in 553. The next one was the third council of Constantinople in 680 and 681. And then the final ecumenical council was the second council of Nicaea in 787. All of these councils are fighting against heresies. Something is being taught in the church. They hold a council and they discuss what is right and what is wrong about it. So the Council of Ephesus in 431, since we're going to Ephesus, we should know what happened at that council. It was held in Ephesus, Asia Minor in 431 under Emperor Theodosius II, the grandson of Theodosius the Great. Approximately 200 bishops were present. The proceedings were conducted in a heated atmosphere of confrontation and recriminations. It was the third of the so-called ecumenical councils and was chiefly concerned with the heresy of Nestorianism. So according to the council, Nestorianism overemphasized the human nature of Jesus at the expense of the divine. We talk about the two natures of Jesus. He is true God and true man. And whenever we do not have 100% God, 100% man, we fall into a heresy or we fall into a trap. He is no more God than man, no more man than God. And so the council denounced the patriarch Nestorius. Heresies are always named after their leader. Why are we called Lutherans? We are the heresy named after our leader. That's why we're called Lutherans. That is what the Roman Catholic Church did. That is what the church did until 1051, when the great split happened between the East and West. I'm not sure on that date. I have to think harder. I wasn't planning on talking that. Does anybody else remember the date of the split?
You're very close.
Yeah. According to the council, Nestorianism overemphasized the human nature. I already said that. Nestorius taught that the Virgin Mary gave birth to a man, Jesus Christ, not God, the Logos, the Word, the Son of God. The Logos only dwelled in Christ as in a temple, that Christ, therefore, was only Theoporos, the bearer of God. So consequently, the Virgin Mary should be called Christotokos, the mother of Christ, not Theotokos. So this was a lower level. In other words, Nestorius was teaching that Mary, only human, could not give birth to true God and true man. That she only could have given birth to true man, who later became true God and true man. That's not what the Word of God says. He was using human reason to explain what's going on and got the scales out of balance. Anytime we get the scales out of balance with Jesus, we have a heresy. So here I talk about it this way. Here's direct notes from the class that Dan and I took together. I'm sure that's one we were at together. Nestorius tried to answer the question considered unresolved. How can Jesus Christ, being part man, not be partially a sinner as well, since man is by definition a sinner since the fall? To solve that, he taught that Mary, the mother of Jesus, gave birth to the incarnate Christ, not the divine Logos who existed before Mary and indeed before time itself. The Logos occupied the part of the human soul, the part of the man who was strained by the fall, but wouldn't the absence of the human soul make Jesus less human? Nestorius rejected this proposition, answering that because the human soul was based on the archetype of the Logos, only to become polluted by the fall, Jesus was more human for having the Logos than not less. Consequently, Nestorius argued that the Virgin Mary should be called Christotokos, Greek for birth giver of Christ, not Theotokos, birth giver. So Nestorius believed that there was no union between the divine and the human. It was oil and vinegar. If such a union of the human and divine occurred, Nestorius believed that Christ could not truly be consubstantial with God and consubstantial with us, because he would grow, mature, suffer, die, which Nestorius argued God could not do, and also would possess the power of God that would separate him from being equal to humans. So the result, the council denounced Nestorius, said he was a heresy. His teaching was erroneous, and a decree that Jesus, who was one person, not two separate people, complete God and complete man with a rational soul and body, and the Virgin Mary was to be called Theotokos, bearer of God. The council declared it unlawful for any man to bring forward or to write or to compose a different faith as a rival to that which established by the Holy Fathers assembled with the Holy Ghost at Nicaea. It quoted the Nicene Creed as adopted by the First Council of Nicaea in 325, not as added to or modified by the First Council of Constantinople in 381. Because we all know, we've heard me say, we actually confess the Nicene Constantinople Creed, because we confess the Holy Spirit proceeds by the Father and the Son. That was not in the Nicene Creed. They added to the Holy Spirit part at Constantinople at the Second Council.
It wasn't the third council.
No, this is the Third Council. It was not here. The Third Council, they just affirmed what was taught in the first council, which was all about Jesus being true God and true man. They affirmed in the third council everything said in the first council. Second council was about the Holy Spirit. Third council was about Jesus again, right? True God and true man.
So it sounds like a job for the afternoon.
Yes. Yes. So Pelagianism, which also denounced here in Ephesus at the third council, is the belief that original sin did not taint the human nature and the mortal will is still capable of choosing good or evil without special divine aid. In other words, you can overcome sin all on your own, which is still taught today by some in Christianity, even though the Third Ecumenical Council at Ephesus declared that it was a heresy. But our former LCMS and television evangelist star, what's that? I'm drawing a blank on her name with her thank you. I was gonna say it's Alan Meyer's mother. It's not, but that's her name. Thanks, Sally. Joyce Meyer teaches Pelagianism, that you can overcome your own sin. She did. Right. Yep. Yep. So all of that was overcome in Ephesus. That was far deeper than I know any of you wanted to go. So here's what you need to know. At Ephesus, they not only had Paul, who lived there 3 years, they not only had John, who lived there 3 years, but in the 400s, in 431, they were still concerned about the truth of the word of God and were willing to fight whoever was teaching it wrong. Ephesus is an important town. And when we go there and you see the one stick of where the temple was, and you see the front of the library, that's probably the biggest site they have today. What's that? Yeah. I'm not belittling it in any way. I want you to know that so much more happened there. I want you to be in awe that in this spot, all of these things happened, even more than this great library front, even more than this great hillside of first century condos exist.
Amphitheater, the big amphitheater they have.
Yeah.
And this book said that Mary lived in Ephesus for the last few years.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I was, but that would not have been in the 90s. So I don't know when Mary would have been living with there, but there's a story going around that Mary lived in Ephesus at some point.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the Roman Catholics believe that she didn't die. Right? She was assumed.
Right.
Well, she took the road that Elijah and
Enoch trod. Yeah.
Well, not really.
Yes.
I can remember Ephesus, the street, you're going down the street, and we had cuts in the street. We asked the guy, why are these cuts? And so those horses, when it was raining, wouldn't slip. They catch themselves. So there's cuts that were in the street. They had lots of cats in that town.
Since both of you have been there, that's good. What else do you recall from being there? I know the front of the library is very impressive because Myra, you've talked about it many times. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you didn't hear me diminishing the great joy of all that, but I wanted you to know how much more happened there.
Those apartments.
Right. That's there's these apartments, these first century condos.
Plumbing and everything.
Right. That's supposedly a remarkable sight to see.
Tables and tables trying to fit these, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to fit them all together. And some of the walls were still there. Yeah.
And I really think they had some marble.
And the organic doors.
It's like marble
Okay.
tables. And the
Right.
slaves or serfs would sit on them and keep them warm so that when under prohibitions, would, then when you need to use the restroom, I understand it's like, you know,
A warm seat.
I'm pretty sure this is.
Yeah. Yeah. Your seat warmer, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably a prestigious job, actually.
This one.
Are you taking, are we done now? Or are you taking, yeah.
Yeah, so we're on to Athens. I wanted to take a look at what the book said, page 29 in the book. We are in Athens twice at the beginning of the trip. We're in Athens. This is the unscripted tour of Athens. The scripted tour comes later after the cruise, where we will see Mars Hill and the other sites. And so here it has some things written about Athens, about Paul in Athens. And then if you go on to page 33, it has the sites, the Acropolis, the Parthenon, the ancient Agora, the Areopagus, the Odeon of Athens. These are all sites that we will go and see with our tour guide when we are in Athens. The sites we see in Athens are very touristy sites. They're not as much biblical as they are touristy. It'll be great to see. Yeah, Kara, didn't your Airbnb you guys stay in look at the Parthenon?
No, it looked, you could see the Acropolis. up on
Acropolis.
the Hill, like we
Okay.
stayed at, that's why I don't know about this whole dinner at night in a hotel, because we stayed in an Airbnb the whole time. Everywhere we went, everywhere in Greece was an Airbnb that the girls picked out. So it was fun, it was neat, and then, yeah, so I would have my coffee and then I would sit on the windowsill, like, window seat. They had a nice cushioned window seat that, I don't know, I think someone was gonna sleep there, but I don't think they did, because we didn't need anyone to sleep there. We had 3 bedrooms. And then, you could look out and see it. And then we had access to the rooftop, and we went up there and then you could see it lit up, because it's lit up at night, so it was neat. But I just, we did not have a car that in Athens, so we walked everywhere. So I remember it was hot and a lot of walking. And to get from our Airbnb, we walked all the way to the top of the Acropolis. And yes, and we took a private tour because the girls also arranged that. So we had a private tour guide and she took us up to the top. And that was what she mentioned, was you could look down and you could see where that's where Paul had his sermon that he did that.
Right,
one.
Mars Hill.
Yeah.
So some travel tips, things to know. You do not want to make the okay sign in Greece. Thumbs up is the way you show things are good. If you say okay, that's akin to calling somebody an asshole. So don't do it. No okay signs, and yeah, exactly. And no 5 fingers spread out far and wide. That also is accursing somebody. And the closer you put your spread out hand to their face, the worse the curse is. So you don't do 5 fingers, you do 5 like this. Fingers are close together.
Yes, a lot when you talk. He's gonna be talking and the people are gonna be like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. I do talk with my hands all the time, and I probably do this. You're probably right, Kara. Um,
Oh.
yeah, that's me. Uh,
Full time.
yeah, yeah, so, this is particularly true in Greece, but this is also true in other countries. But they said to be very careful. Thumbs up is the way you give approval and to say everything is okay. With our tour guide, I can just imagine he's going to say, "Can you hear back there? Is everything good?" Thumbs up. Is we don't want to go, okay. He'll probably say dumb American. But still, nevertheless, we want to be educated and to know. We don't want to do 5-finger spread or the okay sign. Is September a good time to visit Greece? Yes. In fact, you're at the end, you're at a shoulder season, is what we call it in the tourist industry. You're at the end of summer and the beginning of fall. So you get the good weather of summer, but you get the less crowds of fall. It's considered one of the premium times and a cheaper time to travel. Weather, you all were talking about that. You already did some looking. Athens, they said it's going to be warm weather, just like Kara said. Athens in September is mid 80s and pleasant sunshine hours. It's the perfect time for sightseeing. Evenings may cool down slightly. Hotel rates are more budget friendly.
I went in May, at the end of May,
So
beginning of June, end of May.
yeah, you were at the beginning of the shoulder season. Yeah. You're at the beginning of the shoulder season. Crete, endless summers, 77 degrees, pretty much year round.
For the water temperature?
The sea temperature, yes, but same with the weather.
77 for water.
A little
not
cold
that
for me.
warm.
I know they kept saying it was. They kept saying it was refreshing, but I don't
Only
know
if it's.
if we're really going to be swimming.
Will we have an opportunity to swim in some of these bodies of water or not?
Yeah, it says for us to pack a bathing suit. So,
We might, I mean, I guess if we get to go on which one of these islands, right, Mykonos, and we don't have
Mykonos.
anything to
in the
do,
afternoon at night.
then maybe, I don't think I went to Mykonos. I can't remember.
Yeah.
We went to 3 islands and we stayed like 3 nights at each one or 2 nights at each one. I don't know, but we could go to like a public beach. and-
Yep. So suitcases, you get one large suitcase, but it cannot exceed 40 to 50 pounds. So
we can go up a bit.
that would be my guess. What they said on their website. I didn't go to Turkish Air. Have you looked on Turkey 50? Okay.
Well, they partner with United, so.
Yeah. You each get a luggage belt. This goes around the middle of your suitcase. It helps give stability to the suitcase, but most importantly, it advertises for Imagine Tours. And it allows you to see your luggage quickly. Now, I'm just imagining purple with cheetah. And what's that? Wasn't it purple suitcase with the stripe of cheetah tape across the top of your luggage, Anita?
Oh, it's zebra.
It's zebra tape. Okay.
And zebra bow.
Yeah. What's that going to look like with the red? Isn't it a purple suitcase? Was it purple? I am completely wrong.
Well, Denise did not feel bad then. You don't remember Anita's suitcase. She did not really hurt herself.
A bigger suitcase, because remember that one was.
Oh yeah, that was just carry on. You're right, it was.
Y'all are good with sending luggage through?
Yeah.
One check for that was my question was.
But split your clothes, that way you can leave one suitcase.
Yeah, so put
You
it
both
all
have
your
box.
outfits and Dan's, Dan put a few of yours in hers.
Everybody.
And what do you do for carry on usually? I just use a bag. You just do personal carry, not like a legitimate carry on. It says up there you can take.
You can take a carry-on and a personal bag, but normally when I travel, I do a checked suitcase and a backpack, like the holidays.
Right along, my backpack is
Pretty good size,
pretty good size,
like it's square like a suitcase.
kind of square, yeah, it's okay stuff. But it's backpack, and then I carry stuff for my personal.
I don't know how big the seats will be, but I know that like when I went last time, I used my backpack then. You put it under your seat, but then I like bring it out and then I put it under my legs and then I have like a little recliner sort of situation going on. I don't know if it'll work that way, but that is how I like to sleep because then I was at least like your legs are kind of up more and stuff. So if you do a wheeled one, you have to they make you put them up.
Right. So then I
And
finish
then,
Yes, every checked luggage should have one of these. If you are going to bring a carry-on luggage, I believe there's enough of these. Did they send you 4 of these, Dan? Do you remember, Sally? Just 2? All right, then I guess there seems to be a lot here.
Well, we don't have,
What's that?
we only have one so far.
Okay. So maybe there's not as many here. So maybe it's just for your checked bag. There's also, everybody gets 2 luggage tags as well.
And you should also put personal information in your luggage in case these get ripped off.
And a copy of your passport.
Put your passport.
You get 2 of these.
Well, what about the passport? I didn't understand.
We make photocopies of your passport and put it in your luggage. That way you have extra copies of your passport.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now we do not have a.
There are not any extra. It looked like there was a lot over there, but
Well.
yeah, that's what it is. So everybody gets 1 belt, but everybody gets 2 luggage tags. And then you get your name tag to wear on the tour as well. We will not wear these as we fly, but when you are going with the tour guide, you'll want to wear this so it's clearly identified you're part of the tour. You can stay up with the tour. If you get people in between you, this will help you navigate the group to get back to our tour. That's why these are very helpful when you're actually touring. So luggage, you can have up to 3, but here's the reason why Denise does it and I don't, Myra and Kara. You need to be responsible for moving all your luggage wherever you go. So keep it simple. Bring Tide pods, or they also sell dryer sheets that have laundry soap already on them, or you can make your own. If Sally, that would be something I could see you doing. What's that?
I haven't done it, but I think.
Yeah, you make your own soap dryer sheets and then you just rinse out stuff in the shower or in the sink and you let it dry overnight if you need to do some laundry as you travel. I know that Anita talks about that a lot when you travel to Africa. I did that when I went to Israel.
and you have didn't you use those little something? No.
I just have a small container with a tight lid that I put my laundry soap in, so I take a small little container.
Because you don't need much usually. I mean, you're just in
Things I've done.
you did the little, okay.
2 or 3
Yeah.
of them in the same thing.
Yeah.
Send me the link, Denise.
And we've done the Tide pods and you just break them open in the hot water. Yeah.
She's like 10 days, nothing, 30 days. And
Now they told us to expect, we're in a 4-star hotel, something comparable to a Marriott Courtyard. Boy, oh boy, I hope it is not like the Marriott Courtyard I stayed in Flint. That was the lowest grade hotel I have stayed in a long time. I made it through the night, but I wasn't sure. My hotel snobbery came out, Carrie. You would not have been happy.
I am a bigger hotel snob than he is. probably.
Pastor,
Yes.
can I jump in?
Yes,
Is there
please.
any laundry facilities on the boat or anything?
There are laundry facilities. Our guide will be able to tell us about it. but they
Okay.
don't recommend we plan on using them because of time and expense. Will we still be there by the time they come back?
Oh, not, I was talking about machines or something we could use ourselves.
No, there will not be that. There are nowhere we go will there be machines that we can use ourselves. It'll be a laundry service that you send out to.
All right, so we'll plan accordingly. Thank you.
That's why we're talking between Anita and Holidays and Karen and I, the different things you can do if you need to wash your clothes. You get the dry fit pants, the dry fit polo shirts, the dry fit shirts, the Columbia shirts, those all wash and dry quickly.
Oh, I'm not worried about me. I can wear anything. It's Diane I'm worried about.
Well, yeah, so,
Bring one shirt.
yeah. So if she wants, and the main thing is sometimes it's so hot and you want to wash it or you get something on it and then you need to wear it again. So you want to like wash it off. So that's what they're saying. Yeah. We all can just,
At the beginning. Yeah. So they recommend bringing 3 to 5 pairs of pants, shorts, or capris. Here's the thing you need to know about shorts. I can. Yeah, I can send all this out with the link.
It's in the book. Yeah, it's in one of the.
his, is
Yeah.
that, or is this yours? Is it
No,
from
no, I
them?
just copied and pasted from them. There's best practices in this packet.
Cal has like, this is- she's what's right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in here.
Yep,
Yeah.
You don't have it yet, Dave.
yep. I just have gone through all these things and I'm pulling out what I think are the important things. So they're saying 3 to 5 pairs of pants, shorts, capris. Realize that when we are going on the excursions, I highly recommend you don't wear pants or don't wear shorts, that you do wear pants. I highly recommend you go pantless. That's not what I said, Kara. That's what you heard.
Late for me. I am so worried
I-
about peach pickup tomorrow.
I know, I know. I could tell by your giggle, you already went there. Before I even said it, you were there. That you wear pants that, just like in Panama, there were times you could wear shorts. But when you're going on these excursions, especially if it's a holy site, they are not gonna want you in shorts. They're not gonna want you in short sleeves or sleeveless. They don't want you to have bare shoulders. So you need to be prepared. And what I found in Israel is I just wore pants all day long and polo shirts for guys. It was very simple. Bring a hat with you, but there are spots where you can't wear a hat. Other spots where you have to wear a hat when you go into some of these holy sites.
Very neat.
Right. That's why I said
So,
skirts, longer skirts. If you're going to wear a skirt, Anita, when we talked about going to Panama, describe your attire, what you normally wear, because that's perfect.
Yeah, oh, well, do you want me to talk about Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Africa, when we go, we, always have to have our knees covered, always be what we always call a community dress, because the United States is one of the rare countries where they wear shorts out in public. We don't see that in Africa. So skirts below the knee, shoulders covered, is.
And you wore lots of dresses in Panama, and you're like, this is what I wear in Africa. And Kara was very impressed with your attire.
Like, yeah, I don't own that many dresses I could wear on vacation.
With black. I will only wear black pants there because they don't go dirt and it limits the number of shoes that I. And then I just put a different color top with my 3 to 5 pairs of black capri skirts. So everything so pick a color theme of what's in your closet. Select it with, stick with it.
Shorts?
What that? I will probably take a pair. Just like in Panama, there was one night we sat out by the pool. I put on shorts. What's that? Yeah. But most of the time, I mean, all day long in Panama, I wore pants. In Israel, I wore pants all day long, unless we were going to the beach or I was swimming, I was,
Lyle, you taking a pair of shorts or a couple
Yeah.
pair or?
And zip
Or
up
you can
pants.
just-
And I was about there.
And I personally, for a woman, I think skirts are so much cooler. So if it's gonna be hot, kind of a light flowing skirt is just so much cooler.
And I was cooler the next, so she had said about wearing skirts, and then I had brought that one or like tank top dress thing, and I wore that and I was like, it is cooler. Wow. I don't usually wear skirts that much either, or
Yeah.
dresses, but I was like,
My nursing students don't dress with skirts either. It's just not the in thing. So they secondhand shop. And they look so professional. I just, yeah. And actually, some of them are like, this is really comfortable. So I just think skirts for women are just really comfortable. But the loaded,
So how many days in Greece would you not be able to wear shorts? I mean, it does, you've been before.
Well, we can probably get guidance from a guide,
Sure.
and maybe we can ask him to let us know every evening before or something.
Yeah.
She should know, he or she should know.
Yeah. So what it looked like to me in the past when I've done Panama and I've done Israel is I wear pants all day, but when I get back to the hotel, I switch into shorts.
but then
Are the dinners on the boat, do they require dressing up or anything like that?
No, you're not gonna have to wear any fancy attire on the boat to go to the dinners.
and they wear shorts though to the dinners.
I don't know if you can wear shorts to the dinner on the boat. Usually not. In American boats, you can't. Yeah, but what I've seen is not requiring any dressy attire for the boat, no dressy nights. Yes, yes.
Usually
That's
that's
what I was asking, more formal attire. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
no
And
formal
no-
attire is what Dave was.
There you go.
asking.
Yep, no formal attire, not needed for the trip at all.
But I think if you think that around the world, in public, people don't wear shorts.
Right, no,
So that community dress of, it's a step down from business.
capris are fine, yes. Yes,
The guy in this picture that has shorts on.
yeah, and shorts could be appropriate at places,
I've all been laughing at him.
right?
They're not giving them the okay.
Right.
Yeah, accessories to think about, light jacket, because it's gonna get colder at night. Raincoat, umbrella, sunglasses, sunscreen, hat, things to think about to be traveling with. Think about what you want in your backpack versus what you want checked. Right? What are things that you're gonna want in your backpack that you do not want checked? All medications.
Remote phone chargers have to be in your backpack carry-on.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll get confiscated.
Or you'll get called to a luggage security checkpoint if you're in a.
What did you have? You put like your battery pack, like your,
Yeah.
like the portable chargers? You checked it, tried to check it in your bag?
She forgot.
She said it was like dyed and it was broken and that's why I just tossed it in my check bag.
Right,
And they didn't, that had to be in your,
Right. no lithium batteries in checked bags. So medication, when you're traveling internationally, it is recommended you have all of your medication in the original pill bottles. You don't have to. And I know lots of people travel with it in their pill organizers, and 90%, 95% of the time, that's just fine. But it might be a statistical rarity, but when it happens to you, it's 100%. And your medicine is gone. And now you're international. And if you need heart medicine or cholesterol medicine, you are in a pickle.
Pastor, I was also told on international trips that sometimes it's best to get a list of medications prescribed from your doctor to accompany that, so you have that on hand that these are prescribed.
As long as you have the pill bottles
Mhm.
that has the doctor and the prescription, you're fine.
Okay,
But if you put them into a pill case and they choose to need to test your pills, they're all gone. They'll just throw them away.
I have printed my prescription list.
That's what
Oh,
he's
that's-
talking about.
yeah.
And put it in your pill box and just hoped for the best. And 99% of the time you're fine, but the one time you're not.
Is that from my chart? Do you do that? Is that what it is? Okay.
So
Good to know.
I'm one that travels with my original pill bottles. That's why I always say it. I always travel with my original pill bottles.
I would take the ones that I absolutely have to have. I might take those, but.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might take a picture.
Like shoes.
Four ounce stuff also. They're sprayed.
Right.
Yeah.
3.4.
Brenda, are you planning on wearing like sandals? Like, yeah.
That's just in the carrot. I mean,
Right.
I grab, you can have.
Yes.
Put your whiskey in your.
Well, you can, each one of us can bring home a bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, two per person. Nobody?
Yeah.
Comfortable shoes. Anytime I have anybody travel with me, always wear comfortable shoes. I always say closed-toed, no flip-flops. Sandals are different as long as they're good sandals. What's that? Right? Yeah, that's
But you walk in those all the time. Like you do all of your stuff.
Streets, stone streets, you want those shoes. Yeah.
And if there's any rough areas, I require closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes, because the one time I didn't, someone got a thorn in their foot.
Yep.
You just are best with closed-toed and closed-heel.
Yeah.
When we're out and about for the day. Cruise ship. Yeah, right, yeah. You know, so.
Yeah, right. Yep. Here I say in my notes, formal clothing is unnecessary. There's no time you're going to need formal clothing. Here I talked about the covered shoulders and knees, dressing in layers is recommended. Let's talk about power, because we're going to want it. Traveling internationally, you need converters. So Amazon is your friend. Here's the overall pick from today from Amazon. Here's two of them. You get two for $14, or you can get two for $24. These also have USB and USC included. So like the ones I got to go back to Israel don't have the USB and USC. So I thought about,
Put them in the cart. Order it.
yeah, that's a,
Most of your smartphones, smartwatches.
Razor charger.
Razor chargers, CPAPs are fine. You just plug this in and then you can plug in. This one has one, two places, plus I can do some.
Yeah, please send that one to us too.
Yeah. So
yeah.
this
So
one
this
looks
looks like what you have.
Yeah.
Needs to be a C.
Yeah.
Zero.
So my question is on the cruise ship. I was reading somewhere that cruise ship, you can't have a power surge because they get
Right.
hot.
But those are okay.
Those are okay.
Yeah.
Adapters are okay. Power bars are not. Yeah.
They get, I actually was reading it on the site, ordering those, but it wasn't the European one.
The other thing to find out for sure if your device needs to have a converter is there's the little coding and all the numbers. Take a picture of it with your phone, blow it up so you can read it.
Yeah.
And it'll say like 110, 220.
It's the only thing that might is like your curling iron. I love the curling iron.
So yeah, and I think those are so nice
Yeah.
because they've got, but even if you just had one of those and you could put another adapter to it that has everything else.
So you could, yeah, if you have an adapter, then you put a splitter on it and plug it in.
Yeah. So would you say it is, it's type C is?
Yes, type C. And so the top one looks almost exactly like yours, Denise. Do you have plugs on the top side as well?
Yeah, I got it on Amazon.
So it was the Amazon overall pick today. Okay, yeah, so the one on here has the plug on top and left and right.
Yeah.
As well as the USB and USB
Africa, it has like 7
plugs all over it.
Yeah.
Yes, I can send you all this, but this is what the plug will look like. What you're going to need is something with 2 holes, like Denise, or 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's going to look like.
European ones, sometimes those prongs are different diameters.
They are, because there's different parts of
And
different.
the other, some of them, the receptacles are recessed, so you gotta be sure that it will actually fit in. But this one has enough depth for it does.
Yeah, that's my next. Cell phones. She was just asking me.
I was like, "No, you're getting me the plan, right, where because that's, we went, we did it and I had to put the physical SIM card in and
Right.
go to a store and get it there.
So
But now, now it's.
cell phones, figure out your plan. What are you gonna do? Are you going to just simply use Wi-Fi? Because that's what they call it in Greece, not Wi-Fi. They have free Wi-Fi everywhere. Are you just going to be a Wi-Fi person? When Kara went to Greece with all the girls, everybody but Kara wanted to be Wi-Fi. They didn't want to pay, but Kara, we got her a SIM card and she switched it out, and Emma. So they became the go-to people.
Because we're the only 2 then that anytime you were out and you were walking somewhere, you're doing something, you wanted to check where you were, or you wanted to, call each other because you were somewhere in a different spot. We couldn't call each other. So it was very frustrating.
She
We did, yes.
We actually
and-
bought it in Israel or in
Well, Emma,
Ireland, right?
well,
A lot of
yes.
them newer phones.
Emma
you
bought
buy
hers in
Amazon,
Ireland.
Go online and pay for it on your phone.
Yeah.
You get to choose which number you use.
Yeah, probably you could talk to you 2, probably. 'cause
So
you've
I
done
know
more research.
Dave
Mine was
already checked
3
with
years.
T-Mobile, and for $50, he can use his phone number in Greece for the month, and that takes care of everything. I think I'm already covered
I
in
think so.
Greece,
So you just have to.
so we have
add
to figure
me.
out you.
Yeah.
But you'll want to call if you have questions, I'm glad to talk to you about it, but everybody's going to have a different scenario. You're going to have a different need. You're going to have a different want. The Greeks like to live life siga without your phone, no signal.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, and
When you're at the hotel at night, there's the free Wi-Fi.
there's the free Wi-Fi.
Outside.
You can get on.
WhatsApp.
Yep.
Call home.
And some phones have Wi-Fi calling too.
Yep.
Oh, that was the other thing, because we had all those Airbnbs, but the girl who made the reservations, which was Rachel, she didn't have cell phone service, so I had to WhatsApp and use mine wherever we were, like when we were on our way there to say, hey, we're coming, like, where should we meet you, and all this, but that's different, yeah.
We are not, right.
No.
Right.
Yes.
I go up to Dan and Sally because Kara and I went over here and you guys went 6 blocks away and we're all part of it too.
The others, if you don't get, local calling, put your phone on airplane mode as soon as you get there, otherwise you might start getting these horrendous bills.
Right.
Right, because then once you're on Wi-Fi, you connect. Once you're on airplane mode, you connect to the local Wi-Fi.
Right.
You can have airplane mode and still use Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So if you want to go Wi-Fi only, you leave airplane mode on from when we leave to Chicago to when we get back to Chicago. And when we get to a spot where there is free Wi-Fi, then you turn on your Wi-Fi and you find it. And like, the Athens airport has free public Wi-Fi. Restaurants have free public Wi-Fi. The Istanbul airport will have free Wi-Fi. So you can do it without going to the service, especially since, like Denise said, we're going to be in a tour group. We're going to be taking care of the whole time. But if you're a type of person that doesn't want to unplug and you want, then you can work through either your carrier, or we can help you figure out how to get a SIM card and you switch your number. Nathan just went to a conference, Emma's husband just went to a conference in Spain. And when he got there, he had a SIM card and he contacted and said, here's my new number for the next week. And it worked just fine.
Yeah.
So
But you want to do it before, because we did not do it for me before, because I wasn't going to get it. And then we obviously needed it. And it took, like, we had to go to the cell phone place to have it done. And then the person takes your phone. She took my phone and just is like, do, and she's doing all this stuff on it. And I'm like,
so figure it out
"Is
now.
okay."
What is your expectation? What is your want? What is your need? Figure it out now. And then when you have questions, give me a call. I'll help you figure it out. But you got to figure out, what do you need? If you want to totally unplug, Dan, you have no phone. They can't call you. You can tell your kids,
Email you.
yeah, Facebook Messenger works great
But only
on Wi-Fi.
But you just Google eSIM and you can figure out then you can figure out whether your phone is compatible with eSIM card, and you don't have to go buy a damn card.
All right. What other tips, holidays do you have, or Nicholson's that you have, being regular travelers, that I didn't think of or covered so far?
I always do a little bit of over-the-counter medication, like I had Dayquil.
Diarrhea medicine.
Yeah, just knowing you're eating different foods, traveling different, because sometimes you're at a place where
No,
the city may not open different, just keep a little baggy with all that stuff. Put a couple of your outfits in each of your suitcases, pack a few snacks. When you get on the plane, shortly after we take off, I would assume we'll have a meal, like a lunch, dinner type of meal. You know, turn off lights and stuff. And then I would guess prior to remembering in Turkey, we should get like a little. But pack some protein bars, granola bars, whatever, peanuts in your backpack. And then that's nice to carry with you throughout the day when you're out to it.
When you guys did the tours in Greece before, did you carry a backpack of any sort with you throughout the day? Or your purse?
Carried a small purse.
Is that where you kept your snack, you said, as you were traveling through the day?
I had one of those little quarter bags.
Yeah, okay. I don't think Greece and Turkey are as bad. Everybody's really bad. Just be careful for pickpocketers. So
Yeah.
do a purse or crossbody bag that you keep in front, Sally, for you. And Myro doesn't normally keep money in his wallet. He might have a couple dollars only in his back pocket, but he'll keep his money up front.
And then I'll have a fake wallet bag with nothing in it.
Because what they do, this is some of them.
No one ever stole it. I didn't get.
Oh, we hope that doesn't happen with us, but
They told us when we go there too, some places you had to have covered shoulders, you could put your shawl.
Yep.
Options, we might have to pay a small coin.
oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
A waterless bottle. And I just make sure it's empty before you get it on the plane. And I like the kind where the part that you bring out of is covered for traveling, and you can get a hook and hook it onto your day bag. And yeah, what are those? Yeah.
Carabiners.
Carabiners.
Those are, that's your water bottle.
Yeah, so my water bottle has a thing that lifts metal. Sorry, metal or plastic. Well, mine is plastic. I don't know how you say, I love I think it's OWALA.
Oh, yeah.
They are awesome because they cover up, they cover up where you drink from, and they have a thing that lifts up that you can put your carabiner as well.
They're very popular right now. You're trendy. That's
I
good.
know.
Like the college kids, I don't know.
Yeah, those are, I love them because the amount that we say that to be covered.
Tell us about cash. Did we bring credit card?
Can you hear these questions, Dave and Diane? No, not really.
No,
They're
they're-
asking about what kind of cash could we bring? Previously, Anita was saying she likes to bring a bottle to fill with water as she goes and on her travels, that she carries one with her, and it has a carabiner so it can clip onto either pants or a day bag or something like that. If you're going to bring a day bag, you want something that's small, lightweight, easy to carry.
Well, and you might want to bring for women, like, make sure you carry tissues, Kleenexes, or the toilet paper, because the bathrooms don't always.
And Denise and Myra before that warned everybody, be prepared for pickpockets. Don't
Yeah,
keep
that-
all it in your back pocket, put it in your front pocket.
One thing I've always heard about is they make these special pouches that you can put, that hang behind your shirt.
Yes.
Tuck in, something like that.
Yes, you can do that. I don't know if it's required to do that, but yes, when I mean, we're not going to a third world country, so it's not as critical, but leaving your billfold with all your credit cards in your back pocket is probably not wise either. Just shift it to your front pocket where it'll be safer.
They do that a long time.
And here's the good news is we're going to be traveling in a group. We're not out wandering all by yourself. You're going to be less likely a target because you're traveling with a group. They're not going to want to deal with the group if they get caught. We're not the target that they're going after. Kara, when she went with the girls, was the target.
Yeah, and Emma and I were also the only ones that had credit cards that were international, that it didn't matter if there was no extra charge if you charged it internationally. So then we also paid for everything because their credit cards would have been charged them a lot extra. So I got Venmo'd a lot that day.
Yes, she did. I saw it all.
I didn't be like Venmo.
So I often use my password for Amazon. To check with your bank, or your credit card companies. Myra and I try to do one credit card different from what he brings, one or two credit cards. I always make sure I have a debit card that I can withdraw cash, euros. We probably don't need a whole lot of euros. Most places just take credit cards. Making sure you don't let them walk away with your credit card to pay. They usually will bring a little credit card machine to you. But so many of the dinners are included.
Yeah, lunch is on our own.
Yeah, they always come to say one.
And check that your bank does allow your card to work.
So here they're talking about credit cards. There are credit cards you use that have international fees, and there are credit cards that don't have international fees. There are credit cards you can use and credit cards you can't use internationally, or debit cards you can't use. So just make sure you know what you're taking and what's going to happen. When I go to Panama, I have a credit card that has no international fees. So when my dad was with us, he's like, "You're going to buy all my stuff and I'll just repay you." I said, "Fine, not a
Are
problem."
we taking euro? Are we taking some money? Are we getting euros and taking them with? Are you guys?
We have some in our drawer, don't want to
Yeah.
enough to get us by.
And is that what will work everywhere? Or is your
Euros and cash, American money. I'm told that they will take American money. Some of the reading I did. So,
Then maybe $200 cash or 300.
yeah. So,
everything?
right.
And I assume, again, if your debit card works, just pull it out from the
ATM, right.
That's usually where you get the best exchange.
Right.
Using a credit card, always take local funding as your choice and you pay it, because then the transaction rate will be better than if you pick US.
So yeah, if you need to go get to the bank to an ATM, take somebody with you that has withdrawn, and he so all the time, she must be spontaneous.
Yeah.
I'm just confusing the exchange.
So they're saying that if you need to withdraw money while you're there, one of us will be more than glad to go with you and answer whatever questions along the way. You want to withdraw local, you'll get a better exchange rate.
What do you mean local? Over there?
Yeah, if you're withdrawing from an ATM, it will give you a choice whether you want to do it local or an international. And so you'll want to do it locally, Myra was talking about.
Where's that at? Here in the United States or in Greece?
No, in Greece. If you go to an ATM in Greece.
Even if you give me your credit card, I remember sometimes they would
that's what I'm
ask me,
saying
did
too,
I
on that.
want, yeah, they'd say, do you want it?
Oh, yeah,
You
if
want
you
US
give your
dollars,
credit
and
card
I'd
to
say no.
pay, I've done that in Panama as well. Pay in Mexico too. Pay in the local currency. Don't have them convert to US and pay. Pay in the local currency on your credit card.
If your credit card allows.
If your credit card allows you to do that. Yes. Or credit cards will allow you and they'll just charge you an international fee, which is a % per purchase that you do there.
But some typically 3%.
International fee? No,
Usually
1.5. Yeah,
No, it's not the same thing.
That depends.
it could. I mean,
It says-
what I've seen, international fees have usually around 1.5%.
But then check that your debit card will allow you to withdraw.
Yeah. Some banks. Because, yeah, we still stop in our bank usually before we go on.
Yeah, and if you go to your local bank, you can withdraw and do euros. You can take 50 euros with you or whatever. If you just go to the local bank, they'll exchange it and give it to you. So I know Hills Bank does it all the time here in town. Have you used Green State internationally, either of you?
Not to get money.
Cash.
To go in.
No,
Because they're always the church.
yeah. I don't ever use a debit card, ever.
I don't either, except for the.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Should you tell your credit card it's going to be leaving the country? You
Dep-
did do that.
Yes.
It depends upon your credit card. Some of the companies no longer require you to tell them.
Oh, so you-
Yes. Right, so it depends upon your credit card. Some want you to call, some don't want you to call anymore.
Credit union.
Yeah.
And
So-
sometimes you
This says,
like, okay, great, thanks.
this says euro only in Greece.
Something I had read said they accept US dollars. Was it in there? Okay. Yeah,
Did it say they do or retailers in Israel, Jordan and Egypt do?
They accept US dollars, so maybe we don't even need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
so the biggest thing is internationally pay by credit card if you don't have the international fees. Don't pay by cash. And when you pay in local currency, not American dollars. That is and I think you all agree, use credit card number one every chance you can. If you want to take some euros with you, it's not a bad idea, but you don't need much. All of your tips are taken care of.
Is that on the boat and the buses and the guides, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That is one of my responsibilities as your tour guide, is to make sure I pay all the tips.
So then like the hotels each night,
I have a list of what tips I'm supposed to give.
okay.
So I don't remember what's on my list, but I have a list and I have an amount I'm supposed to give per spot. And I have envelopes that I'm supposed to use to give the tips. I haven't sorted through all those details yet because I wanted to make sure I got to talk about the towns while I was with you tonight. I still have a few weeks, but I did look in your packet that you received tonight. In this are all these, and you already looked at all of these travel. I just read the last page has the hotels that we're staying at. So Yeah, let's go and see if we can find some of these hotels. So it's the last page, it's passenger itinerary, has flight information at the top.
Hopefully you're staying at the same ones we are. Just kidding.
Oh, you're funny, Kara.
I think it's time for me to go to bed.
You aren't even sleeping.
I know, I keep thinking about what I need to do and what needs to be done.
Says passenger itinerary at the top.
Yeah.
And then it has your flight, and then it has the hotels at the bottom. We're staying at the Titania. Here's pictures of it. Yeah, 3 times. We stay there the first night before we get on the ship. We stay there the 9th, the 8th to the 9th, and then we stay there the 11th through the 12th. Here's this rooftop picture. I'm showing pictures of the Titania up here. Can you let me make sure you can see those at home. That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Titanic.
Yeah, it's not the Titanic, it's the Titania. But here's a rooftop, looks like a bar area that overlooks the Parthenon, Kara, is that what that is? No,
That would be
the
the
Acropolis, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see where we stayed. I have.
Here's-
Oh,
Look
wow.
at the bedroom. Here's the bathroom. Here's the lobby. There's the side of the hotel. There's some breakfast at the hotel. There's some sort of a buffet. Ooh, look at that and that, and there's that and that.
Then it's raining, but they were on.
It beats Wyndham.
Looks like some sort of a yogurt bar and maybe some bagels.
Oh, man, I think there was, oh my gosh, I think this place right here is where we ate. It is, this place right here is where we ate in this place. We loved this place. It is.
She loved this
we love
place.
Place, we love this. Let me see the.
Just trying to figure out where it is. Copy a picture of the room. Here's some sort of a
5-minute
balcony.
walk, because it's by this like center circle-y thing. And
Here's-
you're not showing the,
There's
you don't want me to, this thing, I don't know, I'm like, oh. Hey, when we're there, yes,
I see where your priorities
we
are.
ate there many times, and down the street from there is where they have down the street from here is where it's the, you know, where they have the fish and everything. It's like a market, and you walk through and all their, like, it's, you know, you walk.
So we'll
through
stay
like
at this hotel,
like an open market.
and then we're also staying at the Porto Palace.
So this could be something you gave your people back home if they had to get a hold of you.
Yes, yes, yes. Porto Palace
Yeah.
Thessaloniki. So there's the hotel. Looks like the room, looks like the pool, some sort of rooftop bathroom. Oh, we can play chess. Some sort of chess competition at the hotel.
So they will still email us our boarding pass ticket.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be in here. I will figure that all out and let you all know.
When we get there. It's just right here on the top. You take a confirmation letter. Please retain this document for the duration of your travel.
Okay. So maybe we show this when we check in.
And because it's international, we won't be able to print.
Okay.
At the self-service kiosk, we'll have to go to the desk.
You have to go to the desk. Yeah, we'll have to go as a
We'll be
group.
able to check in early, or
Yeah,
like,
and,
you know.
and don't check in,
Right.
because you check in one, I think everybody gets checked in or something.
So yeah,
Yeah.
let Master check us in as like we did with.
Yeah.
Try to check in. Turkey share partners with United, so you can make sure you're United.
And what I read today said your global entry and your TSA, you can, if you haven't already given that information, we can give it at the counter when we check in at the airport. Which is why we want to make sure we are early to the airport. Oh, they decorate for Christmas.
Or you can download your Turkish Air app.
Your known travel number.
Your known traveler number for global entry. Who has global entry? No, no. All your times you've never done global entry?
Stay with my students.
Oh, absolutely. You would. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not all gonna have it.
Check in early, you have that global entry and we are not able to.
What's that?
Is
Oh,
that global
no,
entry?
no, that's just when we come back.
Yeah.
No, we'll all go
And it
together.
gives you,
Only
I give up.
yeah, it
Yeah.
gives you TSA free check too.
So, yeah, no, that's, if we have TSA, you can pull.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stand in line.
I'm just waiting for you. Yeah, you'll have to get you.
Yeah, that should be a view of it because
Right.
we were in this.
Well, we are at 9:27. Yes. I have no more meetings planned for us between now and when we go, but I suspect there will be communication as we got to figure out when we're leaving and all of that, when we're getting to Chicago. I don't have any of those answers tonight.
For you and me.
That I can. We are staying at the Crown Plaza.
That's expensive.
I think that'd be fine.
We're staying at the Crown Plaza there in, what's that? No, there's not more than one Crown Plaza. It's, Rosemont. Yeah, it's right next to the Lowe's. Yeah, but it's the Crown Plaza right next to the Lowe's. Rosemont, yeah.
We were just talking about compression stockings. They're really quite nice for a long flight. I wear them all the time, so thank you for them. And
Compression socks are nice to wear for long flights.
Pastor, what time are we meeting at the church and at what time?
and
Yeah, we have not determined the time yet,
Okay.
but we will. We're talking about what to wear on the flight. Denise wears flexible jogger pant style things
With pockets.
with pockets.
I went to like the old-
Talk about what to wear on a flight.
Yeah.
Uh.
Recommendation. It's just comfortable, loose fitting.
Yeah, and then throw like a jacket like this in.
it's sometimes if you get cold, sometimes it's cold on the flight. So we have a little kind of blanket, but
Yeah,
it's still.
yeah, we should get a little blanket with,
Are you bringing a blanket or no?
It's not a blanket.
No,
Jacket.
you don't bring a blanket or a pillow.
travel shawl / blanket.
Is that from Amazon or not?
Yes.
Send me the link.
Hey, you have your travel.
I have a Turkish towel. Has French on it. I do use it.
That's her blanket she carries.
So I
Yeah.
use the cheap economy one is that the airline gives you for the flight, as well as my shawl /
But if you have a coat on and the blanket is usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The other thing I like to do is take my tennis shoes off. I usually just wear tennis shoes when I fly. But take them off and those cheap little slippers that are like you get free at the hotel that you throw away after my flight use.
Yeah.
Those skid ones from the hospital.
Not the skid ones, because those, but with a sole on the bottom, they're thin.
She wears slippers, right?
Bathroom on the flight, and the bathroom floor gets kind of icky. You don't want to go soft footed. Then you don't have to put shoes back on.
I think a small package of Clorox wipes for the plane is nice, and actually you probably want to use the bathroom after me. Because I actually.
I don't do anything. I don't do anything.
I mean.
Yes, I'll go behind you because I am not good about.
Right. Yeah.
we found Anita will clean stuff. She said to bring some Clorox wipes. So she said, yeah, use the bathroom after her because she'll wipe it all clean. So I'll wait till Anita goes first.
Oh, you're such a nurse, Anita.
Yeah, she says you're such a nurse, Anita.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun group.
Yeah. Sleeping on a plane, I found a blanket helps because it feels like you're supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah, what do you like?
That's the best neck pillow for me is the one that's thin in the back.
Yeah.
The ones that are thick don't work for me.
Neck pillows that are thick don't work for Anita.
So they.
Be careful. Yeah.
Amazon, Steven. Try.
And I have
Try to find one. So we can show people.
Yeah, one that I got from Facebook. Live ones.
Yeah.
Right, a student just gave me a thing that you can strap your head to the back of the headrest, so that your head.
Yeah.
Actually, it was really quite nice.
Is that hokey or?
Nope.
Because once I turn the lights off and I put my neck pillow on and I'm go to sleep, I put my mask on. It's dark.
I found I don't like the neck pillows. I use a pillow in the camping section at Shields. It's a pillow that rolls up into a tube and then it unrolls and it's foam filled, so it fluffs. And I hug it and put it under my chin, and I sleep like that.
Finding out everybody's.
Yeah, Kara
Thanks.
hugs her backpack.
Sometimes I put the backpack on my lap then and then just do that. But it gets heavy, depends. This trip might be too heavy for that. And then I
She
switch
does
it
that too.
around. I switch it
Moves all
around.
over
If
the
I have pants on, I move that thing all around. Move it all around. I also like to try to turn and like make myself fit.
It's probably going to be 3 on the side and 4 or 5 in the middle and 3 on the side. 4 in the middle. Okay.
We don't have choice.
We do not. No, because we're a group, they will take care of all of that. We have no say and we cannot upgrade our seats.
Yes, yes.
Get an aisle.
Yeah.
I hope I get by Anita.
Pass the word back then.
Yeah. To depart on September 2nd, early afternoon on that day, is that doable for everybody? Early afternoon departure on the September the 2nd, so we can get there and check in and go have a dinner and go to bed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody had any obligations that day. You play golf in the morning, then you meet us. I'm thinking like, one, no, well, trust me, I would. If I wanted to play golf, I would.
What time are you saying leave?
1 o'clock. Can we meet here at church at 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, would that work for you, Dave and Diane?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you can certainly leave your cars parked here. That's not an issue. Well, park it in the lower lot, but it could certainly be parked here.
You're not doing a carry on top of your van with the.
No, we don't even have one.
We don't.
And we don't.
Backpack.
Mm.
I feel like I'm going to get a Facebook chat group going, so when I think of something, yeah. That would be funny. Yeah.
Well, we're a small enough group that I could text everybody and just put us on a text.
Oh.
I agree with that.
Okay.
And yeah, so we.
Thank you.
If I know something, you go, you do like this, yeah.
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 So I should have everybody's cell phone number. So I'll start a text group.
Or WhatsApp.
Yeah.
St. Paul's group.
I don't have WhatsApp yet. So I I don't.
We'll do just a US one to start with.
Just start with. We could switch. I've never set a WhatsApp thing up because,
I think it's.
yeah. Well, because when I'm in Panama, I just use my phone and I call Arthur on his phone. I don't use WhatsApp. He does. But
Yeah, I
That's-
don't have any of you either on there, so.
okay, it is time. Receive this blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and grant you peace. Amen. 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 Our Redeemer right now is doing that.
Pastor, just leave our stuff in the office. I'll be there Monday morning, for a contractor that's coming
Okay.
in.
Sounds
Well,
great.
All my stuff up there.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.